Hello Aquarius, welcome to your weekly tarot reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is for the week of December 18th through 24th. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. So we're just going to dive right in and see what it is that you need to know. What is the situation at hand? What is the message coming through? What is the energy coming through for you for this coming week? We've got a Fool energy. All right, Fool card is an excellent way to begin a reading. Let's put that into some context and see what we can see with our Dove and Serpent spread. Now, we are going to do our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card today. We're going to do, let's say, Ancient Italian Tarot. We'll just pick one random card from that deck, and we'll leave that right over there. We're not going to look at that until the very end. We're going to see if that might, tie the reading together or give us the confirmation that we need at the end. So stick around to the end of the video. All right, so Aquarius, let's see. We've got some water, some earth, some fire, some water. We've got a lot of air over here. A lot of air, yeah. Some majors, not too many. But let's take a look at this Fool card, because this Fool card is really saying that the possibilities are really opening up to you this week, okay? There's a lot of room for experimentation, a lot of room for just kind of for adventure, right? For a lot of your curiosity, a lot of your just desires and impulses to kind of be explored. It's a real time of expansion, right? The Fool is like pure air that just wants to fill whatever environment that it's in and really experience all that there is to experience. So I think that this is kind of the general theme of the week is going to be these new possibilities, new experiences, new doors that are opening, new adventures coming your way, right? But how we get to this Fool energy is maybe a little bit more intense, let's say. I think you're coming off of this Ten of Swords. This is in the recent past. I think this is some sort of a connection, a relationship, some sort of communication that has just about completely deteriorated, okay? I think this is maybe a complete lack of communication, a complete just literally no contact with someone, okay? And I don't know if this is in a professional setting or maybe a business or a career related. So personal or professional. I kind of lean towards the professional side because of a couple of other cards that we see here. But this could equally apply to your personal life, friends, family members, maybe someone, that you were romantically involved with or something of that nature, okay? But with the Ten of Swords, I feel like there's really no contact there anymore. I feel like that has kind of reached its limit, okay? I think that there was maybe a long effort of trying to establish a good connection with this person, okay? Like maybe that they were... And I think they're a fire sign person. I'll get to that in a moment. But I think there was a kind of a long, drawn-out attempt, right? Because we've got the Ten of Swords. So it's kind of like it's been around for a while, okay? And I think that there was a real attempt to get this connection going, right? But it just, for some reason, just couldn't really get the energy. It couldn't pick up the fire energy or the water energy that it really needed. So it was a lot of this, trying to establish the communication, maybe a lot of missed phone calls, a lot of phone tag, a lot of unanswered text messages, a lot of attempts to get it going, but it just didn't happen, okay? And I think this is kind of where you're coming from. Now, we're not going to dwell too much on this because this is the past, right? This has already happened. Or this is kind of what you're going through now, and this is why you're here at this tarot reading today. But the good news is that the kind of ending of that communication or the realizing that is kind of going nowhere is leading you to this Fool energy, this sense of freedom, expansion, curiosity, the sense of adventure, right? So I think you're going to start to realize how many possibilities really are open to you. What kind of, adventures are you ready for? This Fool is a lot of that expansive air energy, like I said. Okay, so it's taking some of the air from here, all of the effort that you were putting into trying to get that connection formed, all of that swords energy, all of that air is now being channeled into new connections, new adventures, new possibilities. Okay, so this is this is just, getting to know new people, branching out, reaching out to different people, and trying to take in new experiences, okay? So the Fool is also that kind of adventure where it's pushing our boundaries a little bit. It's pushing our limits of comfortability, right? We maybe tend to stay in our lane a little bit. We tend to stay just where we feel comfortable. And the Fool is like, well, let's branch out. Let's meet some new people, try some new things, and see what kind of adventures are out there, right? That is coming with it a 3 of Swords. Okay, now this card is kind of a dark-looking card, right? This is usually in the Rider-Waite Smith decks is the heart pierced by the 3 swords, right? So it's kind of like sorrow, heartache, pain, grief, lamentation, perhaps. But this is really, these are some core truths that I think are really going to hit home for you, that are really going to, get you right in the ticker, so to speak. And I think that the Fool is going to bring some of that energy, because there's more air, right? More swords energy. So the Fool, so all of these new adventures, this new experimentation is really going to reveal a lot about yourself. It's going to reveal a lot about maybe what you thought you wanted, who you thought you were. A lot of these, painful kind of truths, right? So I think this is really going to be a key period in your life where you're going to learn a lot of things about yourself. Okay. And yes, that may come with a little bit of, disappointment or sorrow or sadness. But I think it's for a larger benefit, right? There's a larger force at play here. And what I think that is, now we're just going to go straight to it. I'm not going to beat around this bush at all. This is the Death card, okay? This is at the top of the path of the Dove. And this card is kind of the nutshell card. It's what is the whole reading really about? Well, it's not about death, okay? So let's forget about that idea. It's about this renewal. It's about what comes after the fields have been raised, right? What comes after everything has been kind of taken down to zero, brought back to square one again. There's that rebirth. There's that re-emergence of life, right? So I think that this is really has been affecting you a lot more than what it might just indicate looking at this 10 of Swords, right? Because we have this Death card here as well, I think that this 10 of Swords situation that's ending, that you're coming out of now, I think that really affected you deeply, okay? And I think it is going to be a very positive experience for you to get to this Fool energy, even with this 3 of Swords that the Fool is bringing. Okay, this kind of painful truths, these hard things to accept about reality, maybe about the nature of this relationship, this attempt at connection here, right? Maybe through that you're really learning a lot of things about yourself, about other people, about what you want, what you don't want. So it's through that kind of negative experience that maybe heartbreak, that kind of sorrow, right, with the 3 of Swords there, that you're going to be learning a lot about yourself, and you're going to be learning through this Fool energy, okay? But with this Death card here, I think that this is an experience, this is a situation that is really kind of fostering the sense of change, transformation, and evolution within you, right? So I'm getting this feeling like this it really shook you a little bit, this 10 of Swords situation. I think it kind of rocked your world, and it's kind of like bringing you back to like home base, bringing you back to a centered kind of, okay, let's start over, let's rethink this, let's try again, right? And with that Death card, it's really kind of what happens after this 10 of Swords, after this situation is just kind of done and you're back to ground zero, right? Then what do? Well, then you build this new life. And in some mythology, it's the air that kind of breathes new life into the cold, dead world, okay? So we have that idea of renewal, of resurrection, of rebirth, and this reawakening. And this Death card really is about what comes next, about how you're going to rebuild things, how you're going to start over. And, maybe this sounds too serious, it sounds a little too dire, a little too heavy or intense, but I think with all of the air that we have here, I think that's really important. I think the focus is not on, wow, this relationship or this attempt at connection really sucked, really didn't go anywhere, right? Didn't work. The focus isn't on that. The focus is on all of the air now that is creating this new life, okay? Creating these new opportunities and this real resurgence of your enthusiasm, your vitality, your interest in things, right? Your sense of adventure and curiosity and experimentation. So the Three of Swords is also here to caution us against thinking too much about that Ten of Swords situation. We don't want to linger too much in that memory, okay? So the Three of Swords is saying, yeah, acknowledge what happened, really, process it, assimilate it, understand it, learn from it, but don't linger there, right? Don't let the air still kind of be a little stale with this memory by reliving this situation, by going over the scenario again and again and again, because you're just going to keep reliving that kind of pain or that heartbreak or that disappointment that was involved there, okay? So, again, process it, come to grips with it, understand it, but move on to this Fool energy, move on to what comes next. And this air energy is really coupled with that Death energy, right? That is going to rebuild things. It's going to be a renewal. It's going to be starting over. It's kind of, you're back to square one, and that's okay, because there are a lot of new experiences to be had, a lot of new adventures to partake in, a lot of new connections to be made. Now, moving on to the immediate future, we see that kind of connection right here with this Lust card, the 11th mystery of the tarot. The Strength card, Lust card. I think this is about those new connections. This is about finding something or someone, again, this could be professional, could be personal situation, finding that something to really feel passionate about. Someone or something is going to be this connection that elicits this fire energy in you, because honestly, we don't have any other fire in this reading, except for one card, but we'll get to that. That's a little bit different. But we don't have any fire here, except for this one. This is some major fire. This is that Leo energy. This is that real passionate connection, that fiery connection with someone or something. And so I think that through these new experiences, through this kind of lesson learned, you're going to find something that really is going to pique your interest, really is going to kind of light your fire, right? You're going to find that passionate connection. And this is the fire, I think, that, we're looking for in this kind of a reading, right? Because otherwise there's really there's a lot of air going on here. And then we're going to go beneath the surface. Underneath everything is this Justice or Adjustment card. I wonder if this isn't you looking for a longer commitment. And again, could be in your professional life, could be with a business, a company, an employer, could be in your personal life, finding the perfect romantic partner. I think you're looking for something long-term. You're looking for commitment. You're looking for longevity and security, right? Either in a romantic relationship or like job security, right? This card has a very formal feeling to it. Very professional, very, very connected, very deeply committed. So this could be that relationship that you have this sort of unconscious desire for. I think if you really look deep down, you would see that within yourself, that you might really be after this long-term commitment thing, okay? Like this is maybe what you're really, really seeking. And more of like an unconscious desire or striving for something that's going to kind of go the distance, right? It's going to have that longevity to it. And again, I think that's really part of this overall life path, this transformation within you, and just you kind of have your eye on this bigger picture, I think. And this is coming through all of this air energy, I think, leading to this fire energy. You can see the air and the fire are both active, right? But it's just kind of about what kind of activity are you going to be really spending your time on? Is it going to be kind of lamenting this past, or reliving this experience, or trying to figure out what went wrong there in this Ten of Swords thing? Or is it going to be using this air to push yourself forward, to continue with your spiritual transformation, and to kind of start over, start anew, start fresh with things, and learn from the past, but then kind of forget about it. And we're moving forward to this fire energy again, to this really wonderful union, this really passionate experience with someone or something that's going to elicit that really strong fire energy in you. Okay. And again, I think it's with the ultimate aim, maybe the unconscious aim or goal of having something long-term, having something that's going to last. But we're going to move over now to the path of the serpent and see what else might be going on. First of all, your general energy, Four of Cups. Yeah, this is confirming a little bit of what we already talked about. I think you are looking for this passionate connection, right? I think you're looking for this fire element in this kind of relationship, again, professional or personal. Because right now I think you're there, you're stable, you're safe, you're secure, but there's nothing really exciting going on. There's no fire element, there's no movement in this water, right? It's the Four of Cups. So it's stable, it's kind of like the ship is just anchored. There's, some activity kind of out in the distance a little bit, some storms going on, but you're just kind of anchored right where you are, not really moving anywhere. There's no wind in your sails, so to speak, to kind of, continue with this metaphor. There's nothing that's really stirring things up. It's just right now, just kind of, you're here, right? And that's a good thing. There are no holes in the boat. It's not sinking, but there's no real activity. There's no movement there. It's four. It's just, it's stable. But I think some of this air that we see on the path of the dove is really going to come and push the sails of this Four of Cups and get things moving again towards this real enthusiasm and passion and excitement about life, right? And I think that's going to come through a new union or a new relationship with someone or something. Now, it doesn't have to be romantic, okay? This is professional or personal, platonic. Could be just with a new passionate hobby or idea or business idea, some creativity, right? But there's going to be that connection with something that's going to elicit this passion, really unlock this fiery energy. Now, speaking of fiery energy, in the position of your relationships, we see this Princess of Wands. Now, I'm starting to think that this is going to be representative of some fire sign person that's going to be really a part of this lust or strength experience, okay? So this is the fire that we see in the reading. And this is that fire, I think, that's going to really liven you up. It's really going to be the fuel for your transformation. It's going to take all the activity from that air and really channel it into something that is just really, really hot and passionate and exciting, right? It's going to be something very, very uplifting. And I think that's coming through this fire sign person. Now, this might be a relationship that you are just now beginning, or it's not someone that you already know. It's not someone that you already have a connection with. This is through something new. Again, it doesn't have to be a person. But I think it's through, I believe it's through a fire sign person, okay? But it's still at the beginning stages because it's a princess, right? So it's just making that connection, just meeting this person, just discovering this new hobby or passion or career or wherever this resonates most, okay? But I feel like it's going to be a person. I feel like it's someone that you're just going to meet fairly soon, and then you're going to start to feel some of this fire energy start to kind of flame up a little bit, right? Because this is in the position of your relationships. And I think that this is again, I said it was a new connection, right? So this is the beginning of some of this activity, some of this fire activity. But it's not yet matured yet. And like I said, we don't have any more of that fire energy here. So I think we are looking for this passionate connection that's going to have the longevity, that's going to be in line and in harmony with our overall kind of life path and our spiritual evolution. Okay, because, major arcana cards over here. But I just see with the princess, it's not quite at that stage yet. It's just beginning. So it needs to be kind of nurtured and fostered, and, it needs to be allowed to continue to grow. What we see in the next position, this fears, worries, concerns, this is a 9 of discs. Now, we didn't have a lot of earth really in the reading here. So I think that this is, you know, the card's all about gain. It's all about receiving kind of what we're lacking at the moment. Okay. So I think that this might be like that physical connection, the physical meeting with, you know, with this new person, this new activity, whatever it may be. But there's a little bit of apprehension there. There's maybe a little bit of nervousness, a little bit of like this fear of getting what we want. You know what I mean? Or it's this reluctance to start something new again, because you are still coming off of this Ten of Swords situation that has some of that Three of Swords energy about it, right? You're still kind of feeling that a little bit. Maybe you have to finish processing that before you can really get on to this Fool and all of this other major arcana stuff, right? So there's a little bit of this reluctance to start something new, to allow someone in, and to try again to make this kind of connection. Okay, there's a reluctance there. And I think the reason why there is some reluctance there is also because of this Eight of Cups. And this is, you know, this is kind of the what if, right? What if you open up? What if you allow another connection? What if you try again? But it doesn't work out, and you're left feeling even worse than you feel now. You know what I mean? And this is, you know, this is that kind of lack of interest. This is the loss of heart. This is feeling just really kind of crappy about everything. And it's like the water's being drained from the situation. This is kind of like having the hole in your boat. Because things are stable now. You're recovering from this Ten of Swords situation, that kind of failed connection, right? You're starting to kind of stabilize. Your emotions are pretty normal, right? Pretty equalized. No holes in the boat. What if you go with this fire energy and you allow someone into your life, you try again for this connection, and what if it starts to sink the ship? Okay, and that's, I think, where we are kind of stuck right now, is this kind of at this crossroads. Like, are you ready to try again, or are you ready to just kind of stay where you are for a little bit and just kind of maintain what you've got now, maintain that anchored position for a little while longer? Let's take a look at the mystery card, confirmation card, because this might give us a clue as to where this energy is going to go. If this is the world or universe card, it might mean, yeah, you're kind of ready to just stay put for the time being, right? This could be some other card to indicate that there is going to be activity, something to move things forward. Could be like a Wheel of Fortune, showing again that expansiveness, but in a way that is a little bit more on the positive side of things, because the Fool energy, the Fool really is not, there's no value judgments here. The Fool doesn't know, you know, positive from negative, good from bad, or happy from unhappy, right? It just is going to go out there and experience things. Doesn't really think about, well, that maybe this is going to work out. So there's no value judgments there. There's no discernment or discrimination. A Wheel of Fortune, that Jupiter energy, on the other hand, is going to expand, but in a way that is going to be positive and beneficial, right? So it's kind of a different form of expansion there. Let's find out what this is. And we've got an ace. We've got an Ace of Discs, okay? And look at that beautiful card, Ancient Italian Tarot. This is showing me that there is, remember with this nine of discs, we said that there was a reluctance to receive someone, to start something new, to let someone in again. That hesitation to kind of start over, right? To maybe stabilize this Four of Cups a little bit more before you're kind of ready to do that, because what if it sinks the boat, you know? But then to get this as the confirmation card, this is that Ace of Discs. Now the aces contain all of the other elements. So this is the renewal. This is the seed of prosperity, right? This is the beginning. This is that, like, you received that thing, you've planted that seed, you've taken the first steps, you've taken the initiative, you've gotten things rolling that is going to lead to physical plane success, but also mental, emotional, and spiritual plane progress and success and abundance, right? So I think the Ace of Discs here is really saying that, look, you're going to go for it. You're going to use some of this Fool energy, this kind of a little bit carefree, a little bit of a risk taker. You're just going to say, you know what, I'm just going to do it come what may. It may not work out. It may shake things up. It may lead to, right back to this kind of disappointment, but it may not, right? And the Ace of Discs is saying, look, take the risk, plant the seed, go take that first step, take the initiative, and you might be surprised at what kind of results you get. Okay, so this is a wonderful confirmation. I think this is giving me a little bit of an indication of how you might take some of this path of the serpent energy, right? Because there is this potential, this fire energy is there, but whether or not you're willing to actually, act on it or take that first step, let someone in, try to work on that connection again, try to start something new, there is a risk. But I think the reward is well worth the risk, and I think it's going to work out. Let me know in the comments if this is resonating with you and what you think of this energy. We're going to take a little bit of a look in the extended, so if you want to stick around, you can become a member to the channel. All the information is down in the description box. I do offer personal readings. That is also in the description box. This was your weekly tarot reading for December 18th through 24th, and I'll see you again.